So, okay, what all the properties did we see? Can you tell a property that we found that we saw last time?
Yeah, sum of n Fibonacci numbers is fn plus 2 minus 1.
Yeah, correct. So, sum of first n Fibonacci numbers.
First n.
Fibonacci numbers is, we saw that it is fn plus 2 minus 1. That is f1 plus f2 till fn. We saw that this is yielding 1 less than a Fibonacci number. Then any other property that we saw?
Sum of the odd first n odd
Sum
Fibonacci
of the
numbers.
first n odd Fibonacci numbers.
Yeah, and sum of squares is
We also saw sum of exactly. So what would this be? F1 plus F3 plus F5 till F2n minus 1. So we can just take some examples here. So F1 plus F3 is 3. F1 plus F3 plus F5 is 8. So what is this?
Sigma F2n or F2n.
F2n.
Sigma f of 2n minus 1 is equal to f of 2n.
Nice. So in my mathematical notation, as Shankar is saying, f of I going from 1 to 2n minus 1,
2n minus 1
is nothing but f2n. This is another property that we saw. And then, of course, we also saw the even sum. So f2 plus f4 plus f6, f2n. And what was this? Yes, Shankar. What was that? F2n plus 1 minus 1.
Should be that, yeah.
Then we also put into squares, as Kalyani ma'am said. What is the property with regard to squares? So here it would be f2n plus 1. And we also saw this is property. And then I think we stopped last time with this sum of first n squares. Sum of first n Fibonacci squares. F1 squared plus f2 squared plus f3 squared till fn squared. Is there a pattern here? So yeah, this is the last thing that we saw. So apart from this, did you come up with any other observations or patterns?
Maybe we can try cubes.
Excellent. Excellent. We can try cubes. Yes. Anything else?
So in the squares itself, we can actually try f1 squared plus f3 squared plus dot 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 up to f2n minus 1 squared, and then f2 plus f4 plus like that.
Correct.
With respect to squares is this. With respect to cubes also, we can do it. Odd positions and even positions.
Yeah. So cubes, actually, I've never tried before. I'm very curious to see how it will be in cubes.
Difference of squares also.
Yeah.
Difference of squares. So what is it, ma'am? Gauri ma'am?
So I found fn plus 1 squared minus fn minus 1 squared equal to f2n.
F2n. We'll just check. We'll just check with some numbers first. So let us just take these two. So 25 minus 4 is 21. And this is, yeah, correct.
8-1, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so fn plus 1 square minus fn minus 1 square is f2n. Okay.
I want to show this f of 2n thing. I found it very interesting. If you take the ratio of f of 2n to f of n, okay, so f2 by f1 is 1. Okay, F2 by F1 is 1.
Yeah.
F4 by F2 is 3.
Okay.
F6 by F3 is 4. F8 by F4 is 7.
7. So that forms another Fibonacci series.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, ma'am. But
Yeah.
it's another Fibonacci sequence, but the starting number is
1.
1, 3.
1, 3.
excellent, excellent, excellent. So
Yeah.
actually, this sequence 1, 3, 4, 7 has a name. This sequence is called the Lucas sequence.
Lucas sequence. Oh.
Yeah. So Lucas also studied the Fibonacci sequence, and then I think he came up with this observation.
Okay.
And so this is not, and there is a lot of interesting interrelationship between this Lucas sequence and Fibonacci sequence. So yeah, so there are still plenty more properties and directions to explore. For example, if you just take F3n by Fn, what would you get? I'm just getting this question. If you take F3n by Fn, what do you get?
Okay.
That is one question that is coming to my mind. Yeah, this is one track. Another track is let us just see if we can prove some of the results that we have got. Like we'll start with our first result, that is sum of first and Fibonacci numbers. Okay, so we have our observation is F1 plus F2 plus F3 dot 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 till Fn is Fn plus 2 minus 1. This is our observation, right? So how can we prove it? So in the last session, I had given a I think I mentioned the proof technique that can be used to prove this.
Induction, right?
So can you try, Sunil? So we see that
yes.
this pattern is followed for the number that we have checked, but will it hold true always?
We have to,
so that is why we are going for a proof.
So if this holds good for n is equal to k, so this result must also hold good for n is equal to k plus 1.
I have a question about mathematical induction method. Many problems, lot of problems can be solved by induction, but typically it doesn't give any insight into the problem or the nature of the context. It doesn't give any insight, right? So typically it is used as like a first step until you can find another proof or something. But here in this case, because Fibonacci sequence is recursive and induction method is ideally suited for that, is it accepted to just have inductive proof?
Actually, this is personal choice only. So if you're not satisfied with inductive proof, we can always go ahead for we can always go looking for a different proof. Okay. So usually it is like inductive proofs. So mostly before trying to prove something, we must have an observation, right? We must have a result. We must have a guess of a theorem, right? And often that that observation would come after a lot of trial and error. So we would have a lot of empirical data,
right?
Right, and then we believe that it is true, right? So and then yeah, looking for proof different from induction is definitely a very worthy pursuit.
But having just an inductive proof is acceptable in any case, not just this case.
Okay, is inductive proof acceptable in any case? That is a question.
Yeah, my point is inductive proof. It's almost like it's like an algorithm, right? You follow these steps, and if you can do it, it's done. So is that enough as a proof? If you can apply it to a given problem, is it enough?
Okay, is it enough? So basically, is this induction technique actually proving the thing that we are setting out to prove?
Correct. Correct.
How can you justify it as a valid proof technique?
as a valid proof technique in every scenario where it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
everything
got
is-
it. Yeah, yes, 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 yes. This is this is a very important question. This is a very important question. I would like you to think about it. So we will just take some set of examples. We will take some set of examples where this in the induction proof, this induction technique can be used. So one is this, of course. Then we will go back to the classical procedures. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 till n, the summation. Then 1 squared plus 2 squared plus 3 squared till n squared. This is n into 2n plus 1.
n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 divided by 6.
Right. Yes. And then 1 cube plus 2 cube plus till n cube.
This is equal to n plus n, n into n plus 1 by 2 the whole square.
Right. So we have these formulas, right? We have these formulas. So this is another place where potentially the induction technique can be used. Okay, so
Right.
now we have some examples. Just analyze and see what this technique is actually doing, and
Okay.
then we will discuss whether
Okay.
we will discuss if it is a valid technique or not, and if yes, why? If no, why not?
Okay.
Because we are making a very strong statement here, right? We are saying that this formula will hold true for all the values of n.
Yeah.
So for that, whatever proof technique that we use, it must be sound enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shiv, did we discuss about this one in the Fibonacci series? Like, so F1, F2, F3, F4, like that we found out. So the ratio of F2 by F1, and then F3 by F2, then F4 by F3. So when we go higher and higher, it approaches golden ratio. Have we discussed about this one?
So yeah, about this we just mentioned last time.
Okay.
We just mentioned it. How do we approach this problem? So this ratio of Fn by Fn minus 1, as you keep increasing the value of n, it approaches a particular value, right? So now how can we come to this conclusion that it reaches a particular value, that it goes close to a particular value in the first place?
That we need to extend the value of n up to certain limit. That limit, it depends upon person to person. Suppose I can arrive at the result after calculating. I may not be satisfied with n equal to 10. So I go myself and extend up to n equal to 20 or n equal to 30, and then finally after seeing the values of the ratios, the difference between the two, as the n increases, the difference between the two actually also decreases. So it comes closer and closer and closer, and then we can kind of come to a conclusion that it is approaching a particular constant value.
Okay, fine. So
it need not be golden ratio. Forget about golden ratio for time being. It need not be golden ratio. It is some value, that is.
Very nice. The only thing is, as n grows higher, Fibonacci numbers also become very high.
Very high.
So doing it numerically is a bit of a challenge. That is there, but still, when they empirically do it, either numerically or through computer, then they'll be able to see. That is, they'll be able to see that it's actually going near the value. Yes, that is one thing by actually seeing, right? Fine. Then is there any other way we can analyze this? Let me think. So one thing, what we can actually do is analytically, right? So once, so now we have this empirical data that as, so what Shankar is talking about is, if you take this ratio Fn by Fn minus 1. So Gauri ma'am had taken F2n by Fn and considered it for different values of n. But for now, if you just take this Fn and Fn minus 1, this is a very important sequence. So Fn by Fn minus 1. So this is first F2 by F1 is 1, then F3 by F2 is 2. So F4 by F3 is 1.5. Then F5 by F4 is 5 by 3, which is 1.6 something, 1.666666. Then
6, 7,
f by f5 is
8 by 5.
8.5, which is 1.6. Then f7 by f6 is 13 by 8, which is 1.625. Right. So yeah, we can keep calculating like this. But so here, yeah, so in the initial cases, there seems to be a lot of fluctuation, 1, 2, 1.5, 1.666, 1.6, 1.625. But there is one very, we can analyze this difference. So basically, as n grows larger and larger, what can we say about f n plus 1 by fn minus f n by fn minus 1? This difference, can we tell something about this difference?
It approaches 0.
Yeah, how can we say that?
That we need to calculate using the, for example, let's take n equal to 5. If n is equal to 5, so f6 by f5 is 1.6. And then
True. So one is
one
by,
way is that by having the data.
empirical
Simple
data.
data, simple empirical data. Yeah.
Yeah. So from empirical data, we can see this. So basically, from empirical data, we can make this observation that it's going closer and closer. Nice. But these Fibonacci numbers have a very nice structure, right? So using that, can we analyze this expression? Can we simplify this expression in the first place? So this, upon simplification, we can write it as fn plus 1 into fn minus 1 minus fn squared divided by fn into fn minus 1. So this thing has a very beautiful structure in Fibonacci sequence. Fn plus 1 into fn minus 1 minus fn squared.
Yeah, the numerator will give you 1 and minus 1 alternately.
Excellent, yes. So the numerator will give 1 and minus 1 alternatively. So if you see the difference of this successive ratios, this would be, this is another property of Fibonacci sequence, that you take any fn, take its square and subtract it with the product of the predecessor and the successor. The difference is always plus or minus 1. This is plus or minus 1 divided by fn into fn minus 1. This is the difference of the two successive Fibonacci, this ratios. So from this, what can we conclude? As n grows, as n, we take larger and larger values of n, what will happen to this difference?
So it approaches 0, right?
So when you say it approaches 0, what do you mean, Sunil? Can I say that it approaches 0.0001?
Yeah.
So we can say it approaches 0 also, we can say it approaches 0.0001 also.
So here n has to start with 2, right? If n is equal to 1, then fn by f0 is 0, right? So fn by 0, then it will not define. It will become undefined.
Correct.
So here n has to start from 2.
Yes.
Then only it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So just that you brought this thing, Sunil, this fn plus 1, fn minus 1 minus fn square is plus or minus 1. I'll just point out to another direction. So we have this Fibonacci sequence 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55. So if you take this 8 square and subtract it with 13 into 5, we get minus 1, right? Now instead of taking 8 square, we'll fix this 8. Instead of taking the product of 5 and 13, what will happen if you take this product of 3 and 21? What will happen if I take the product of 2 and 34? 1 and 55. Is there any, and take the difference as 8 square. Is there any pattern there? This is just another thing for the to explore. You can, yeah, so whatever you are working on currently, you can continue on that. Just keep this also in mind.
You get square numbers, right? Here, in this case, all like -1 +4 -9.
21 into 3. This is 63. This is plus
Yeah.
1.
-1. Yeah.
Then 8 square minus 34 into 2. This is 68.
68. Yeah.
So minus 4. Then 8 square minus 55. This is
9.
9. Right.
I think all square numbers, right?
Okay, these are all square. Okay, fine. Okay, these are all square numbers, true. These are all square numbers, but these are special square numbers.
There is negative -4 also.
Yeah, that's also there. Oh, sorry. Okay, so here we are reaching 1 because we choose 8, right? Now you take some other central number, take 21. Okay, take 21. Yeah, take 21 and repeat and see what are the square numbers. These are special square numbers.
You get the same pattern, same.
Okay, so what is so you get -1. Then
Yeah, -1 +1 -4 +9.
do you get 16? Do you get -16 here? Just
3.
check this. This is the crucial thing. So yeah, okay. So what would you expect to get here before calculating?
-16.
-16, right? Okay, you see what you get.
Oh, so 25.
Okay, you get plus or minus.
It's -25.
Okay, so can anyone explain what is happening? Okay. So now that we have got this, let us take the next difference. 21 squared minus 773. The next Fibonacci number 377 into 1. Okay. Yeah, without calculating, what would you expect to get here?
Say 36.
36. Okay, fine. But here we did not get 16 here. Okay, we'll see if we get 36 or not.
We are getting 64.
Oh, so what is happening here? So one thing, as Sunil said, these are all square numbers. Correct. These are all square numbers, but there is something behind this, right? Let us take the next difference also. So 21 squared minus this would be 610 into 1. Okay, so without calculating, what do you expect here? Just
169.
169
Wow.
minus 169.
So was this a guess or?
Yeah, no. I got the pattern. It's a nice pattern. If you take the square root of.
Shankar, did you get any hint, any clue?
I'm checking out.
This is infinitely recursive.
there's like, yeah, so much of so many properties. Just with this, 1 is equal to an plus an minus 1.
Yeah.
It's just this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Also.
Shiv. This also has a really good pattern, Shiv.
Yeah, what is it?
It's like see the numbers are what? -1 plus 1, -4 plus 9, -25, 64, and then -169, and keeps on going, right? So it is again like -1 is nothing but -1 square. 1 is 1 square. Then -2, -4 is -2 square. So +9 is 3 square. So it is again like 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. Something like that is coming.
What is it? It is 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. What is it?
It is again Fibonacci series only, kind of. But
Kind of, or it is.
It is.
no, there is a negative sign in couple of squares, right?
Ah,
So,
right. So alternatively,
Definitely.
this plus and minus is coming. Yes.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Ignore the negative sign.
Plus and minus is
Yeah,
coming.
alternative plus and minus, but it is okay. Kind of Fibonacci. I can't completely agree to it's a Fibonacci series, but yeah, okay.
Square of
But
Fibonacci.
still, yeah.
Square. So we are getting back. We're getting square of Fibonacci as
Okay.
basically.
This is something which I haven't observed till date. This is actually nice.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, this one I haven't heard of. Seriously.
So there is a separate Fibonacci journal where people put up all these results. There's plenty of properties.
Okay, fine.
And I don't think we have even covered some 20% or 30% of the properties. Yeah. So we started with we started sequentially with sum of first n Fibonacci numbers and then squares. So squares is something which this question we are not yet figured it out. So now and then I'm just showing that screen. There is a nice pattern here also. Yeah. So this is just for your reference, so you can work on it whenever.
For this, that geometric diagram, that is helpful.
That is helpful. Okay, so you figured out the pattern there.
Yeah.
So what is the pattern that is being followed here?
So it is the product of Fn and Fn plus 1.
Correct. So this is 2 into 1, which is F3 into F2. 6 is 3 into 2, which is F4 into F3. 15 is 5 into 3, which is F5 into F4, yeah, and so on. So yeah, as we can prove it using that geometric approach also. Yes, right. So if you have to give a formula, this would be
Fn into Fn plus 1.
Fn into Fn plus 1. So simple, right? If you have to add 100 squares of Fibonacci numbers, it is just you take the 100th Fibonacci and 101th Fibonacci number and multiply it. That's it.
Yeah, and this is scarily similar to n into n plus 1 by 2. Right? Only the by 2 is not there.
Right. Wow, I didn't see it in that direction. Wow, yes. Yeah, so we have already plenty of questions. So I will just open up one more box here. I think some of you have already observed this. We'll take 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. So where are the even numbers?
Even numbers are in f of 3n.
Right. So it is in 2, then 8, then next is 34. So if you look at the positions, we have 3, 6, 9, and so on. Right. So in this direction, if you can make any other observations, put it in the chat. And why should this be, again, a question? So why should the even numbers be in multiples of 3? In the positions are multiples of 3. Can we give an explanation of that? So even numbers are basically multiples of 2. So we see that multiples of 2 lie in the positions are multiples of 3. That is one thing that we saw now. Again, it's just an observation. But using the idea which Shankar told, we can actually prove it. It's not so difficult to see why this is happening.
One more thing also we can look out is that we can check out is there a if there can be any perfect squares that come in the Fibonacci series and perfect cubes that come in the Fibonacci series.
Yeah, very nice. Actually, I also got this thought when I saw 144. This is something which I not yet explored. Yeah, perfect squares. What are perfect squares come? Will it keep coming infinitely?
Or is 144 is the only perfect square which is also comes under a Fibonacci number? So many questions can come to. That is the thing.
So in regard to this one open, of course, there are several open questions regard to Fibonacci sequence. So one thing is, at least some of you might be aware of this classical question which Greeks solved. That is, are there infinitely many primes among positive integers? Are there infinitely many primes? And Euclid gave a very beautiful proof to show that the primes will keep coming. There's no last prime. So the same question can be asked for Fibonacci sequence also.
How many primes? Yeah.
Nice, Shankar. Yes.
Primes is actually altogether. It's a different game actually.
Different game. It's a different animal. Multiples of 2 are occurring in the positions which are multiples of 3, right? So why is this happening here?
Yeah, sure. I thought, I mean, the Fibonacci sequence starts with 2 odd numbers, right?
So first is an odd. Let me just write what you're saying. So first is an odd number, then the next is an odd number.
Yeah. So their sum must be even.
Excellent. So the sum has to be even.
Yes.
Then
and the next 2 numbers must also be odd, because you are adding one even number with another odd number.
Excellent.
Parity again.
Yeah.
Parity.
And then again even number. So because of this structure OE, so we have this. So we see that the multiples of 2 occur in the positions 3, 6, 9, 12, and so on.
Is there any multiple of 5? Is there any multiple of 10?
Exactly. So multiples. So what about multiples of 5? Multiples of 10? Where do they occur? Or are there multiples at all? Yes, these are some questions which we can observe. And it has a very nice structure, very beautiful structure here. Right. So we'll just again go back to that preparing a tool set to prove these things. So that we have got some properties. I don't know if we have to prove all. And in fact, some of the properties I myself don't know how to prove. But yeah, we will try to prepare a tool set.
Do this, prove that the sum of first n Fibonacci numbers is equal to f of f of
n
plus 2 minus 1 easily using induction.
Great. Yeah. So so go into the proof. And Gauri ma'am, you can observe it, and whichever point you find it to be unacceptable, you can attack. Okay. Because the question which you raise is like very important. How can we say that this proof technique of mathematical induction is a valid way of proving something? Right? Fine. So we have a case in front of us, and we will do a case study.
Sure. If so we are assuming that the result holds good for n is equal to k. So that means
I will write it step by step. So assume P of k is true. That is f1 till fk is equal to fk plus 2 minus 1. Okay, so the first step is we are starting with an assumption. Okay.
Yeah. So now we will try for n is equal to k plus 1.
Right. Now take n is equal to k plus 1. Okay.
So this means that f1 plus f2 plus fk plus fk plus 1. Fk plus fk plus 1.
Okay.
Is equal to. So we know that f1 plus f2 plus fk is same as f of k plus 2 minus 1 from our previous step. Yeah.
Okay, so we know, so this we have from our previous assumption.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
So as you can see, f of k plus 1 and f of k plus 2 is same of f of k plus 3.
Yes, so f of k plus 2 and f of k plus 1 is nothing but f k plus 3.
K plus 3. It is the sum of 2 consecutive Fibonacci numbers. So
yes.
Minus 1.
Yes, then?
Yes, sure. This is what we are required to do, right?
Right. So now this is the proof. So now we have that. So okay, so this take n equal to k plus 1 and then f1 till fk plus 1 is nothing but fk plus 3 minus 1. So the result is true. Right? This is the last step. So the result is true. Okay, fine. So now we will all analyze why these steps first of all, we'll see if these steps actually establish that. Now we'll call this statement Pn. So Pn means f2 plus f till fn is equal to fn plus 2 minus 1. So we are seeing if p of n is true for all values of n or not. This is what we are trying to see. Okay, fine. Right. So yeah, others including Sunil. So you can see, and first of all, try to see if there are any gaps in this, or if you're convinced that this is a valid proof technique, you can give a justification.
We have to put in one statement to show that it holds for p of 1 or some constant, right? So that would be the starting point, and then if true for k, it's true for k plus 1 will kick in. So first we have to show that it holds for p of 1 holds. We have to show empirically, right?
Okay, fine. So p of 1 is nothing but this f1, which is equal to 1, and f3 minus 1 is also 1. So p of 1 is true.
Right.
Okay, so the extra statement which Gauri ma'am is saying is show that p of 1 is true.
And based on the inductive proof, if it holds for 1, it must hold for 2. It holds for 2, it must hold for 3, and so it would hold for all numbers.
Okay. So okay, so I will just act as a devil's advocate, and I will say, look here in this step. In this step, you are arriving at a result by making use of an assumption that you made. How convenient is that? Huh? So you make a assumption whichever you want, and then using that assumption, you get some result which is favorable for you. Yeah. So I'm a person who is coming and making the statement that you're using an assumption of yours. So what would be your how will you counter that?
Yeah, we first prove that the result is true for particular values of n. Let's say n is equal to 1, n is equal to 2. So based on that, we assume that it is true for n is equal to k also. And then
so what is k here?
K is some
K
constant. Yeah.
K can be either only 1 or 2, right? Otherwise you assume it for all the values of n. Right. So this is one thing, and I just wanted to point out. I give you another tool, a very powerful tool to analyze all these things before we sign off for the session. So you will keep this question in mind. Lots of the properties that we have seen, right? Squares, involving squares, products, and all, right? So these are, so the Fibonacci sequence is built with this additive property. So whatever pattern we see, it's always it'd be very convenient if you convert that into a property having only additions. That will make our job easier to analyze something. So, for example, we have squares, right? Squares. Okay, before going to squares, we'll just take this basic question. So, have again sequence 1, right? So with the starting 1 and 1, I can get this entire sequence, right? Fine. Now, say I choose 2 numbers in between, 13 and I choose this one, these two, so 5, 6, 7. This is F7 and F8, right? So now, can I express all the Fibonacci numbers greater than 21 as just in terms of F7 and F8? Can I represent all the higher Fibonacci numbers in terms of F7 and F8 alone? For example, can you represent F10 in terms of F7 and F8?
See, it is F8 plus F9 is actually F8 plus F7.
That's all, okay.
So twice of F8 plus F7, something like that.
Right. This is F7 plus twice of F8. Right. So this is F10. So what about F11? Can you represent F11 also?
F11 is
2F7 plus 3F8.
Sorry?
2F7 plus 3F8.
2F7 plus 3F8. So can you represent F100 in terms of F7 and F8. So what would the coefficients be? Again, do you see any pattern? Do you see any pattern coming up in the coefficients of F7 and F8?
So suppose let's say that F10 is equal to A times F1, F7 plus B times F8. Something
Yeah,
like that.
just a minute. I'll just write down what you're saying. So F10 is equal to A times F7 plus.
B times F8.
Okay.
So the F11 will be F11 is what A plus 1 of F7 and B plus 1 of F8. So it
Nice,
has
nice.
some pattern. So
Right. So this is correct. This is actually correct. Okay. Then F12 would be.
F12 should be 2A plus 1 F7 plus 2B plus 1 F8. It keeps on going.
Then F13 would be 3A plus 2 into F7 plus 3B plus 2 into F8. So is there any so yeah, so can you generalize this for F100? It's becoming more and more messier now.
Yeah.
But there is something here also, there's something hidden here.
Random guess that will also be in Fibonacci series.
Yeah, looks like that only because it is 1 1 again 1 1 2 3. If you see the coefficients of
Oh,
A,
yeah.
it again comes as Fibonacci only.
So instead of directly going for F100, you could start with F12. Now we have got F10 and F11. Could go for F12, F13, and then slowly build up the pattern. You'll see the pattern emerging. Fine. So I think this is a right place to stop this session. So this we'll just leave it here.